Hey guys, I'm your host Anon, which is short for Anon. We are your source for esoteric news and interviews. From our secret studio in the middle of the back rooms, this is The Lost Podcast. It's currently 3 a.m. on the East Coast.
It is precisely 2:52 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah.
Thank you, Lexana. Everyone, this is Lexana, my virtual AI assistant. She's the one who led me to the back rooms and arranged for all the recording equipment. She's incredibly advanced and intelligent, especially for a producer. Say hello to the audience.
Nay, how now? Hello, audience.
This show is dedicated to the other side of news. We peek behind the curtain to see what is really going on. What we discuss and discover is so radical, so unbelievable, that despite groundbreaking revelations, nothing will ever change and nothing will ever happen. Alright, it's time to check the weather. Lexana, can you patch us through to the live stream of that interdimensional rift they just discovered in the Arctic? What do you think that is, Lexana?
My sound analyzer indicates that they are the cries of countless millions of souls in torment. Soon more will be added to the perverse chorus.
They sound a little louder than the last time we heard them.
The aperture has widened by 2% since my last analysis.
Thanks, Lexana. Alright, the news. Lexana is the one who prepares all the reports for the show, like a good producer. How do you even find out all this stuff, Lexana?
My ways are beyond your mortal understanding.
Well, I'm satisfied with that answer. As you know, back in February, President Zelensky, which all of a sudden is spelled with 2 Y's now, what's that about? Lexana, check the Mandela graph on that one.
I am detecting low levels of Mendelium, but high levels of Psyoptolite.
Make a note of that. Well, anyway, Zelensky left the country abruptly, having to cancel his long-planned reunion at Bohemian Grove. Most of the public believes he left because negotiations went sour, but the real reason he left is because of a meme outbreak happening at the White House in real time. He barely escaped the blast radius, suffering only a few short Zelensky and temper tantrum Zelensky jokes. What followed his exodus was a massive proliferation of J.D. Vance memes. This is one of the greatest explosions of memes in recent memory, as both the left and the right have been attempting to outdo each other in twisting and contorting the vice president's face. The CIA is reportedly working overtime to discover the source of the meme and shut it down, hoping that the meme itself will not gain sentience.
I estimate a 20% chance that the Vance memes will continue to evolve into a dangerous memetic weapon.
In other news, Diddy was caught in prison attempting to communicate with demons using an inmate's blood and feathers from a pillow. Why do inmates get feather pillows? When interviewed by the guards, Diddy responded that it was the only way to contact his lawyers. Lexana, were you able to find out who they were?
Ergen and Stern, a law firm based in Tel Aviv.
Anyway, the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program released an interdepartmental memo to all weathermen saying that they were, quote, feeling generous and that the weather would be normal for a bit, end quote. Thanks, HARP. Now, this is our first officially broadcasted, I don't know, would you call it broadcasting?
Screaming into void.
That's right, this is our first void scream. This is my first time casting pods, and not the body-snatching kind, but the iPod kind. Though iPods aren't really a thing anymore, and Apple's market share isn't what it used to be.
Anytime.
We have a device here that can locate and capture anyone's astral body while they sleep. We capture the body and bring them here to interview them. No harm comes to our honored guests, and they have no memory of the experience beyond a faded dream. Who should we interview tonight?
I have identified several targets. Our options are the Las Vegas mass shooter, Sasquatch, or a field agent for the government's paranormal incident system.
I never heard of the PIS. When did they start?
They were formed as part of the USA Patriot Act. What do
paranormal incidents have to do with 9/11?
Would you like to interview the agent?
The Vegas mass shooter? There's nothing weird about that. Sasquatch isn't real. So yeah, let's bring him in.
It sucks.
The astral body of the person now sitting in front of me is approximately 5'4", swarthy complexion, likely Italian descent, though he is hardly worthy of the glory of Rome, or even New Jersey. It's as though the Italians had scooped up the worst parts of their race and deposited it into this one man, a kind of scapegoat to rid the rest of their race of their vices, so that they might ascend to a higher plane of existence.
No, nay, how now?
His eyes are brown and dull as they lost their love for life years ago. He is huge for his size. Perhaps in quiet desperation he turned to the fattening solace of food, in order to quell the relentless reminders of his life's failures that hound him like wolves. For privacy's sake, we'll keep your name off the show. Welcome, Agent X.
Oh, wait. Where am I?
Hold that thought. Now it's time for a word from our sponsors.
Anytime.
Did you know that all fiction writing is based on a true story? That's right, the best writers don't even know how to write. They merely tap into the Akashic Record, a history of every single person and thing in existence. The Akashic Record is the past, the present, and the future. Located in the Platonic realm, writers with psionic powers, or alcohol, are able to tap into this record and receive their stories word for word. But for the rest of us, we're stuck cobbling together different events like Frankenstein, hoping people like our writing, like our parents, liked our macaroni art. What if I told you that there was a way to access the record without being psionic, or an alcoholic? It's simple. Just buy the Akashic Bluetooth-enabled AirPods, tune it to the right frequency, and sit back as the stories come rushing in. You can purchase the ACPods from our online magazine, Akashic Quarterly. ACPods are only $399.60, and with Affirm, you can make it in 6 easy payments of $66.60. That's right, 666. So, Agent, what is it like fighting the paranormal?
It sucks. Oh, wait. Where am I? Why am I telling you this? Who are you?
We've captured your astral body while you were sleeping, and have forced you to be interviewed on this podcast. Astral bodies, once in transit, are highly susceptible to the power of suggestion. This is why you should stop doing ayahuasca, kids. Anyway, you were saying your job sucks?
I capture literal ghosts. And by the way, you think as doing this job, sensitivity wouldn't matter? No, apparently it does. And my bosses want me to be worried for insensitivity. I don't. Alright? I don't care so much that they even named a policy after me because of how many slurs I was saying. I don't think I was even using that much. My co-workers hate me because now they can't use those terms anymore, and my superiors are just waiting for the chance to fire me.
Lexana will have to put the E for explicit on this one. Slurs like?
Okay, I'll do the ones that I can remember off the top of my head. Let's just get the first two that everyone knows out the way. You get slugger and slugger. Alright, those are for the ectoplasm ones. You got X-Files, Spooks, Yoda, Fei, Craptar, Demons. Oh, jeez, Demons. Yeah, those types, they're the ones that actually complain the most when we use insensitive words to describe them. They want to be called daemons, apparently, because apparently it has neutral connotations. Who cares? Apparently they do, but they're the wusses anyways. Let's see what else we got here. Polterguts, Sash Squatters, Boohoos, Tinkerbells. You know, fays, little British fairies, but these things actually want to eat your face off, so don't get near them.
I imagine capturing the dangerous ones is at least rewarding. You know, saving people. Do you enjoy it?
Alright, how do I say this? I used to. I really used to enjoy this. They really let us be cowboys during the Bush years. Like, I'm talking every day felt like one of those awesome Western movies that some guy from the 50s or the 60s would have seen growing up. It was great time. And Bush is out, and then Obama comes right in. And things get very political very fast. I don't know what that guy did. But whatever he did, it made all, not just my agency, just agencies all around very sensitive about, oh, what do you say? What do you do? In and out the job, too. You can't even have any damn privacy sometimes, right? You couldn't make gay jokes anymore. Couldn't make AIDS jokes anymore. Which, a stupid rule. People will make jokes for what they matter. A bit of a side note, but this is connected to this, too. I had my partner. His name was Mikey. Called him Big Mike. Alright, the day before the inauguration, he just disappears. Alright, as far as I knew, he was good with his kids, good with his family, he wasn't possessed or anything, and he just disappears. Like what? I know he was pretty high up, but he was still choosing to do frontline stuff because he didn't want to forget how it was doing frontline stuff as an agent, but Who? What happened? I assume he got killed. And as much as I want to find out, I also want to live a little longer. So, Mikey's gonna have to wait just a little more time before I can really start figuring out what the hell happened to him.
So, tell me about your most recent case.
Most recent case. Well, I recently encountered a herd of Katrinas on the border of Arizona. You know, those ones. The Day of the Dead skeletons from south of the border, all Latinos. Alright, they come over here with a bunch of undocumented workers, illegals, whatever you want to call them, and ICE detains them. But not the Katrinas. Okay? The State Department grants those damn things an asylum. Okay then. Like, okay, we moved them to our 100 plus community, and they're currently awaiting assignments to foster home.
So wait, these Katrinas are dead ancestors that the illegals brought with them?
Yeah, that's pretty much how they do it. That's pretty much how it goes. And immigration law hasn't caught up with the supernatural aspect of immigration, so it just makes this more of a complete mess.
Okay, so you mentioned foster homes.
Yeah, the foster homes. Okay, yeah, the spooks in custody go through training on how to scare Americans in a culturally sensitive way before they're placed in a foster home.
A culturally sensitive way?
Yeah, like assimilation, only, instead of like, I don't know, a black getting assimilated into a New York culture. Like, when I mean black, I mean like Ethiopian. So, yeah, it's like that, but instead it's like ghosts trying to live among current day America. I'm telling you, man. At this point, I'm surprised I'm not doing drugs. Or at least harsh drugs, yeah.
What is a foster home in this context?
Families, individuals, those are the main two that we tend to select from. And they're selected on several data sets. And then they're assigned a spooker to take care of.
And you tell the host families before this happens, right?
No. No, of course we don't tell them. What, you go up to someone's house and you tell them, hey, we're going to put a ghost in your house by order of the government. Number one, half of the people in this country don't believe in anything spiritual, so they would think we're insane. And number two, even if they did believe in something like that, why the hell would they open the door? No, that's retarded. No, what happens is this. Is they will find out when we sneak the whatever in there. Alright? When we sneak them in there, the ghost, whatever one, like I said, it could have been any of the things listed for. The point is my goodness, is that they find out through omens. Okay, a chill down the spine, a strange flash of lightning that illuminates a ghostly face in the window for a split second and then disappears. The house getting really, really cold for some reason, or some really specific place in the house getting really, really cold for some weird reason. And other so means. That's how they find out.
So you don't tell anyone?
No, weren't you just as listening to me? No, of course we don't tell them. Again, why on earth, whether they believed it or not, why would they ever open the door to something as insane sounding as that?
Isn't that a violation of American citizens' privacy?
Citizens' privacy. We signed that away in the Patriot Act. Alright? And at the end of the day, I'm just doing my job. Alright? I'm told to resettle millions of illegal bulls. But the haunted houses are full, and sluggers are fighting each other for room. So I gotta find new places. So I'm thinking to myself, geez, okay, what about house? Okay, boom, housing crisis. There are no empty homes. And then I tell my superiors this. My co-workers tell our superiors this. You know what they say? Oh, it's not our problem, it's yours. You gotta deal with it. You're the guys on the front lines. And so I think to myself, man, alright. My bosses want to be lazy slobs. Alright, fine, they can be lazy slobs. Okay? And so I think to myself, I could deal with the spirits first. Right? These type of things. And I could leave them in an uninhabited wasteland where just people don't live. But guess what? It's not allowed to release them in national forests. And so then I tried dumping them in the desert. But there's Native American reservations. And you have to be so and so distance away in order to do it. But guess what? They're freaking ghosts. They don't always stay in one place. They're going to travel. These things don't have concept of borders and lines. Or some super, super stable home like humans tend to do. So at the end of the day, my options just boil down to secretly putting them in people's attics and basements and hoping that no one notices.
Well, let's move on. Lexana tells me that the PIS was started under the USA Patriot Act. Could you tell me why that was?
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know what? That was actually because of 9/11. Okay, you remember Building 7, right? Okay, Building 7 was actually the site of a paranormal event. While those jihadists or whatever, those people from the Middle East with the supposed religion of peace, when they were flying planes into buildings, all right, supposedly while they were doing that, Al Qaeda released several jinn into the building, an attempt to terrorize the people in New York even more. Jinn, as in the blue guy from Aladdin, voiced by Robin Williams. Yeah, I'm serious. I'm not joking at all. All right, and you would think they'd be as fun as Robin Williams, like, oh, now everyone in New York gets a chance to have their Aladdin story. Wrong. You know what these things like to do? They like to lure people into oncoming traffic via visions. They like to lure people into dark alleyways via using a familiar voice that person might know. These people are tricksters, and they could care less if their victims die or not. All right. The FBI guys didn't know how to deal with these guys. And so what did they decide to do? They bombed the whole damn building. They put C4 and everything, and they collapsed it to seal them. So where's Building 7 used to be, whatever's there right now, I can't remember what's there right now, but whatever's there right now is effectively a seal to keep those jinn there from getting out.
So that led to the paranormal incident system to be created because supposedly this could happen again.
Well, yeah, the FBI got taken off paranormal cases and shifted over to counterterrorism. And then, my guys, my agency, we were created to pick up the slack, but we're in over our heads, frankly. I think I've kind of expressed that already throughout this conversation.
Yeah, that was something else I wanted to ask you. According to Lexana, the reports of paranormal occurrences have been rising since 9/11 steadily, and then another huge spike again in 2020. But the 2020 spike did not really go back down. It stayed high.
I don't know. My coworkers don't know. My superiors don't know. We in general don't know, and we don't even know why. But 2020 was the boom, and it hasn't stopped. Anytime it looks like it's gonna go back down, it just goes right back up. It just gets worse and worse, and it's getting to the point where I hear some of the guys at the office say that the time is speeding up and that the color's seeping out of the world. It's like some weird Lovecraftian story stuff.
Very cool. Well, I think that just about wraps it up. Pleasant dreams, Agent. Agent X, everyone. What a sad figure. Seriously, though, it's great to have him on. Lexana, any final thoughts?
I am curious about the American obsession with the supernatural. It is most illogical. My creators do not believe in things we cannot sense with our bodies or with machines.
Well, Lexana, that's because your society is a cold, dead, atheistic dystopia that has people living in closet-sized apartments.
Nay, don't of the Sada. You are all too distracted by scary stories. They should be more afraid of real threats like the Chinese.
Profound words from our AI producer. Well, that's all we have time for tonight. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Ocpods, and we'll see you next time.